So welcome everybody to Tuesday night Zoom. Tonight, let me start off as I do with our lovely news. Let's see, they posted today, they're emailing Scentsy Club subscribers to promote the 2022 summer collection. Yesterday, a bunch of congratulation news tab posts came out for various folks that achieved superstar director recently. There's a new business address in Europe. There's a news tab article about that. And consultant support is going to be closed on May 13th, which is next Friday. So a week from this Friday for an employee event. So it's an annual event that they do. Then they'll be resuming normal business hours May 16th. And check the product status list. There is a handful of back in stock items coming back on Thursday. The Cinderella edition lid will be back on Thursday. The Coral Waters fragrance flowers in both designs had hibiscus pineapple Scentsy Pod twin pack. Magnolia linen fragrance flowers, odor out Scentsy Fresh, the Mandalorian scent pack, and vanilla bean buttercream Scentsy pods are all coming back on Thursday. That is about that. So tonight's topic is annual sales and annual mentor. So we are going to talk a little bit about both of those sale or awards that Scentsy has, and I am going to actually start things off. So Scentsy's fiscal year is May 1st through April 30th. So we just started the new year for Scentsy, and so for annual sales, you have from anywhere from starting May 1st through April 30th to sell $30,000 in that calendar year to earn the award, and then to do that, you can, I'm trying to think how I wanted to say that. The easiest way to try to break it down, if you sold $2,500 each month, that would get you to the 30,000. So there's a way then you can, break things down, try to divide it out by month or by week, or, just to kind of make yourself a game plan. Look at my note of anything else. So those are the requirements, plan your parties, those types of things, let people know that you have a goal that you're trying to earn and you definitely can do it. Scentsy also does, as it gets closer towards the end, they will send an email saying, hey, you're on track to earn this award. And I joined Scentsy back in August of 2011. My first ever time earning annual sales award was 2021. And I knew I was on track only because that email came out to me in February and I said, huh? And I had Melissa help me break it down. How much did I need to sell per day? Like how many days were left? And then I divided it out and just put the word out there and, set my goal of booking parties or letting people know that I had this award to earn. And lo and behold, the stars aligned and it all came together. So I've been lucky enough to earn it the last 2 years in a row. So, and it helps to have the support system that we do in our group and reaching out to each other for questions and, help of how else, what ideas do you have that could make this go on? So that's another great part about these different awards that are out there, that you can reach out to, everybody in this group or on your team and things like that for ideas to spark of what else you can do to earn it. So that's a quick little background of time frame and dollar amount. And if any of you have questions or anything like that, by all means reach out to any of us and we can help you with tips and tricks. But I am going to pass it on to Miss Jody Herring, and she is going to kind of give us her take on how she's earned the annual sales award.
Hi everyone. So I always get nervous, so just excuse me if my voice starts to shake or whatever. I do not do well with lies. I just don't. I don't know why. Put me in front of 100,000 people at a street fair or something, I'm fine. But this, I don't know. I don't get it. Anyways, so I joined in 2010, and I was a mom with 4 kids. So I joined Scentsy because not only I needed something to do, but I really needed the money. So money driven, 100%. And I started off right away, giving myself goals. So I joined in October and just always had goals. And it was important for me, I guess, just to show myself that I could do it, to reach those goals. And even if I didn't reach them, I still tried, and at least I could be proud of myself for that. So then I attended my first convention in 2011, which is Scentsy Family Reunion today. And I was seeing people go up on stage for different reasons. They were, director walk, and then there was the annual sales, and then the mentor. That, it just, I don't know what it was, but it just lit a fire and something that I really wanted. I wanted to get up on that stage, even though here I am, I get so nervous, something like this. I really wanted to get up on that stage. And I knew I was doing well with sales, and I'm starting to grow my team. So I happened to be staying at the same hotel as Heidi Thompson, and I had the opportunity to talk to her. And so I actually just asked her her suggestion on how could I earn annual sales? How could I be up there on stage? Because I wasn't really familiar with, what the requirements were. And so when she told me, the average $2,500 a month, I thought, okay, I can do that. So $2,500 a month will get me my 30,000. And I knew there was you get $1,000 bonus at the end of the year if you earn it. Again, money driven. And I also learned that you get the 5%, on top of your commission check if you sell more than 2,000 in a given month. Again, money driven. So if I did those things, that not only was I going to get that 5% bonus, I was going to get the $1,000 bonus at the end of the requirement. So that's what I did. I earned it 6 years in a row, and I did events. I did the home parties. I did the basket parties. I was on Facebook, but it wasn't like it is today. It was more in-person stuff. And then a couple years, I kind of stepped back a little bit. I had some family stuff going on, so I kind of stepped back just a little bit and didn't earn it for 2 years, but I've earned it the last 2 years. So 8 total. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. You just got to set these goals. Even if it's small goals, like I've done, 2,500 in a month. Well, I break that up so that you don't feel so overwhelmed with that bigger number. I don't know if there's any questions, feel free to ask. Is there anything else, Cassie, you can think of that I should be?
Jody, I was going to ask you, for those individuals who say, oh my God, I'm only selling $500 a month, or I struggle to sell $500 a month right now. $2,500 seems unachievable when I know that we've all been in that position. Do you have any recommendations? I think you kind of briefly hit on it when you said I broke it down into smaller goals, but can you?
I think reaching more people. I mean, you need to have more people, because if you have a group of customers and you're only getting that, well, that just tells me you need more customers. And that's either asking your customers for referrals, asking if they'll have a party. I don't do a lot of parties now, but I mean, if I really need the PRV, I reach out to my best customers. Can you help me out? Even if it's a Facebook party, if it's just, giving them the shopping link and sharing it with their family and friends. I mean, I used to, I don't do it today, but because I work from my phone pretty much all now, but I used to, the drive-thrus of the fast food restaurants, or when my kids would be so embarrassed, I'd be in the restaurant, don't you do it, Mom, don't you do it. And I would give the business card, with the tip and the sample. I did all those things. I was constantly trying to meet new people. So that's my advice, is you got to reach out and meet new people, grow that customer base.
Thank you. That's awesome advice. Because a lot of people don't think of that. They think about their current circle and how am I going to get that current circle to produce to 2,500 when they're only struggling to do 500. But your
Right.
advice is not hit them. Expose yourself to more people to grow that base. And
Yeah.
so I think that's very valuable advice.
Thanks.
So
Am I next?
no,
Oh.
I'll let you bring us home. Is that cool?
Oh, yeah, I just have connections. So both of they're saying I don't want to forget. Go ahead.
Well, go ahead. You go. I'll go last.
No, it's okay.
No, go ahead. You go. Go.
Okay, so like Cassie, I wanted to say I joined in 2012. My first 8 years, I didn't even know this award existed, to be honest with you. And then I was at as SFR in Austin. Well, actually, it probably wasn't 8 years. I don't know. But I was talking to Jillian and she was telling me about it. And she was telling me $2,500 a month. And I know that sounds scary, just like Tammy was just saying. Like when I first started selling, I was happy with $200 a month. I just wanted to be active. And then when I had someone under me, I thought, okay, I'm going to go for $500 a month so I can get a bonus off of them. And then all of a sudden I'm like 1,000. And then when I found out about the 5% bonus for 2,000, that was always my goal. So what I tried, so 2 years ago was the first year 2021 was the first year I tried and I got it. I got it for both years. What Jillian had told me, and which is good advice, is I always shoot for $3,500 a month. So that way on my low months, I have a cushion because I don't always get that, like even close. Fall time, sometimes I can get 4,000 or 5,000 if I really work hard and have events and stuff. So those are the months that, make up for the other ones. But what Cassie and I did when we were both trying to become directors, which I would recommend for this as well, is have an accountability partner. So Cassie and I were texting each other. These are our numbers, and Melissa was with us. And like every hour we were updating each other. And it was a lot of fun for us because we both wanted each other to make it. And it was really exciting that we both did. So you could do this for that as well. When you were talking about getting new customers, that's my struggle because I tend to recruit my best customers and then I'm like, well, now I need to find a new best customer. But think about things like, for example, I was driving home from Florida last month and I had my oil light was on and I just got an oil change and I thought they scammed me. So I stopped at some place in Kentucky, I don't know where, and had them check to make sure that they changed my oil. And it turned out that they just didn't reset it. So they didn't charge me anything to look. And I didn't have money for a tip and I felt really guilty. So I wrote down the address of where I was. And when I got home, I sent them a tip. And then I also sent them the little wall fan diffuser for their bathroom and some pods and a couple other things. So I just try to bless people in any way I can, give them an excuse to give them Scentsy. So that's a way to get new customers. Just a tip. What was one more thing? And the biggest thing I want to make sure, like my new favorite quote is, if it's important, you'll find a way. If it's not important, you'll find an excuse. We can all say excuses for everything. I do it all the time for other stuff, but I really try to focus on that. And it might not be your time, and that's okay. You can try and then try harder next year if you don't make it. But don't get discouraged because, I'm a single mom with 2 jobs and 2 kids, and I'm on 2 PTAs, and I'm so busy. So if I can do all that and still do this 2 years in a row, then you definitely can too.
Okay. And just like these girls that spoke before, I didn't actually know that annual sales existed at first either. I joined in 2011 and my very first reunion wasn't actually until Nashville. And I believe that was 2016, I think, was 2016. And after I was there, we were talking earlier, I couldn't believe I had waited that long to at our reunion. And that's when I saw people walking the stage and everybody's cheering and confetti and all the things. And I'm like, what's even happening? Like, what are all these things? And I just couldn't believe it. And so I still didn't really know that annual sales existed or that it was something I could achieve because I started as a hobbyist and I didn't really have big goals or dreams or aspirations for Scentsy. But slowly but surely I started getting wind of these things and emails were coming from Scentsy saying, hey, by the way, you're really close. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm really close? I literally have I want to say I was like almost $9,000 away with 2 months to go. And back then I was like, in my mind, this little baby consultant that was just struggling to get 2,000 because I don't like to leave money on the table. And I wanted that extra 5%. And I was like, I have to do what in what amount of time, but I don't back down from a challenge. And so I got to going with the, I used Pic Collage at the time, and I wrote that big scary number on there. And I told my customers really vulnerably, this is really far away, but this sounds really cool. I want to do it. And I started crossing it off and putting the next number and crossing it off and putting the next number and crossing it off and putting the next number. And sure enough, I didn't earn it, but I was within like $1,500. And so I knew that if I could get that close in that short amount of time, there was no reason I couldn't earn it the next year. And so the next year would have been the 2020 year. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this. I need to have a plan though, because if I don't have a plan, then what's going to happen? And so I came up with this really basic tracker. It is so basic, anybody can use it. Although I will tell you, we do now have one on our workstation, which is super awesome. It's in the reporting tab. It tells you every single person on your team, and it puts you in the list too. So it takes out the guesswork completely, tells you where you are in that year. As we said, it started over on the 1st of this month. So we probably all don't have a ton, and that's okay, but you'll see that number increase and increase. So what I did was I created, and I think I've talked to you guys about this before, this very basic, simple tracker, which I can upload on, if somebody wants to use it, I can upload it onto our page later. And it just has, obviously we already said it's $2,500 a month on average. And if you've been a consultant for a little while, or you're friends with a consultant, you know, some months we sell the crap out of some Scentsy and we have huge PRV months. And then other months we're like, is this thing on? Is there a heartbeat in this town? What's happening? Right. And so you're going to be able to make up for it in some months that maybe are lacking. And that's what made this so helpful for me. So I put the month list here, and then so I'll put the month and I'll write what my PRV was for that month. And then I'll add it. This second column is the cumulative PRV. So as I go along, if I sell $2,600 in May, and then I only sell, I don't know, $400 in June, that's not going to happen. Let's be real. But just say, I'll be able to see that I'm behind, right? Obviously, because I was over for one month and behind for the other. So this cumulative one will keep track of where I'm at cumulatively. And then here, needed monthly is what's left over. So each month I would see where I'm at, and I would see how far away that was from the $30,000 we know we need. And then I would divide that by however many months were left. And that would tell me what I should try and get that month to be able to stay right on track. And that's what worked for me. Whatever works for you, by all means, go for it. But set it into small goals. Like we're saying, if you're not used to having big months, big PRV months, and you're just scraping by at active, that's okay. Some things you can do are fundraisers. Fundraisers are great because you're helping your community. You're getting your name out there to potentially have brand new customers. You're potentially getting a lot more PRV than you'd be used to, depending on who the fundraiser is for. So that's definitely a helpful way to increase your PRV, increase your contacts, and keep your business going and moving, and also helping your community, your family members, people in need, whoever it is, with that fundraiser. So that's something we hadn't mentioned yet, I don't think, as a good way to kind of get that PRV if you're looking to boost your sales. Something else I want to mention with annual sales that is super cool is not only do you get to walk across the stage, which is awesome. And I know Jody mentioned that you get the $1,000 bonus, which is also freaking awesome. And if you stay consistent 2,500 or more per month, you're also going to get that extra 5% bonus, which is awesome. And if you're money driven, like a lot of us are, these are all great things. But you also get a certificate, which I'm going to show you, and a beautiful frame, and a beautiful trophy. So I'm going to show you what those look like. This is the 3rd year I earned it now, just to backtrack. So I missed it by like 1,500 when I realized I was close. Then I earned it, but like with 11 days left to go in the Scentsy calendar year in 2020. And then in 2021, I was like, I'm going to earn it sooner, because why not? Type A over here. And so I earned it in January, and then I did that again this year. So this is the 2020 trophy. You can see it's the bar shape. Can you guys see that okay? Super shiny, fun, beautiful, heavy. I put it up on my half wall over here. But it's always marked with your name, and it comes in a pretty box. It's all padded with like black silk, and it looks all fancy and fun. Makes you feel like $1,000,000. And then you get a certificate and then this beautiful glass frame as well for it to go in so that you can display it however you'd like to. So these are all just fun little things that Scentsy does for us when we earn these awards, and it's a lot of fun. So that being said, annual sales is for everyone. Just like we all start at 0 every single month. All of us, even our SSDs, on the 1st of every month, we're all at 0. That means we all can achieve it because we all start at the same spot. We all started with the same kit. We all started with one person. We all can achieve this award regardless of title. This is completely based on you alone and your customers and how hard you're willing to work. So like they've all said, if you have questions about annual sales, if you need an accountability partner, if you want help making your own tracker, although like I said, it is in our reporting tab now, anything like that, please reach out to any one of us. And there are many more on this call probably who have earned it as well. So please feel free to reach out to one of us for that. And then if there's no questions for me, I think I might just dive right into the basics because Tammy's throat's bothering her for annual mentor. So does anybody have any questions right now they'd like answered before we move on? You can unmute if you do have a question.
Or if
It's so
anybody
weird when you're
types in the
scrolling
chat,
through and
I
you just
can
see
watch
eyes
that.
staring at you. What was that?
I said, if anybody types them in the chat, I can watch for that and we can always follow up with them.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to move on then to annual mentor. And annual mentor, show of hands, how many of you knew that existed? Oh, I see a couple hands. Has anybody here earned annual mentor before? If you have, put comment in the chat or something to let us know you've earned it. I personally have not earned it, but I'm making it my life mission because like Debbie, I think it was Debbie that mentioned it. It's like a game for me to have my best customer join me because they should be making money on their own purchases. And so that I'm always finding the next best customer. And so when you're growing your team and you're adding these people, you're going to get yourself closer and closer to earning this award. So annual mentor is when you personally enroll 14 or more new consultants in the Scentsy calendar year. So again, that's May 1st to April 30th each year. And they become certified during that qualification period. So that means they join, they get to 1,000 PRV or above and become certified, and they stay a consultant for that calendar year, and you have 14 of them. That's what that means. So obviously, if you're going by statistics, if maybe 1 to 2 out of every 10 are going to do something with their business, you really want to try and shoot for at least 2 a month, right? To try and make sure you're giving yourself some padding. And so when you earn that award, you will get to cross the stage. Just, you'll get your name, you'll get the claps and the confetti and all the stuff, and it'll be electric on that stage. You will also get your name. I forgot to mention this for annual sales. At reunions, they like put your names on like a big sign in alphabetical order. And for each year you've earned it, usually they'll put like a little star or something indicating. So if you see somebody with 7 stars, that means they've earned that award 7 times, and it's really exciting. So it's the same calendar year. It's the same, well, not the same, but it's the same stage you're walking across. You get the certificate as well. You get a trophy as well that says it's for annual mentor. You get to feel awesome because you've changed at least 14 people's lives with the blessing of this business, which is a real big win. But also you're going to get yourself, I haven't earned it, so I'm going to read this to you. You earn a $25 bonus per certified consultant and a $50 bonus per lead consultant or higher, and your trophy. So what that means is if you have 14 consultants who have joined at least, and 14 consultants who have become certified or greater, you're going to get a minimum of $25 per person who has done that. So if you want to sponsor 957 people in a calendar year and they're all going to become certified, you get to decide how big your bonus is on that, right? That's exciting. That's something you have control over. I personally, this past year, for the first time ever, I personally sponsored 22 new people, and I had 10 people, 8 to 10, I'm not sure the exact number because I don't keep track of it, reinstate, which was huge for me. In years past, 10 or 12 maybe, but I shifted my mindset. I started really being big on blessing other people. I don't need more wax on my shelf. I want them to have all the things that I have the community I have the business that I have, make the money like I do. Even if it's not a lot, like it's something. And so my mindset shifted, and my amount of recruits that have been blessed with this business shifted too. And so it was incredible for me to see that change looking back, seeing that when I looked at my business differently, and I looked at, I don't want to say I was being selfish before, because I'd like to think I'm not a selfish person, but I was kind of like possessive of my PRV because I wanted annual sales. And if I was giving away my PRV by flipping parties, or if I was recruiting my best customer, I no longer was going to have that PRV, and how was I going to earn annual sales? And so for a minute, that was big and scary. But as soon as I shifted my mindset and was like, no, I'm just going to go get the new pause. I'm just going to get myself a brand new best customer, because why can't I? Things changed and shifted. And so now annual sales is something I feel like I have a really good handle on. And now annual mentor is something that I have in my sights, because I want to see these people succeeding and making money and building community and going to events and doing all the things that we get to do. And it's a lot of fun. And so now we have a tracker for that too, you guys. It's right there. Scentsy completely like dummy proofed all of this stuff for us, which is incredible. We used to basically do it like with a scroll and a rock and like mark it on the wall, how many we have, and all the things. So they've really dumbed it down and made it so easy for us to pay attention to and mark down. But it's 14 new consultants. And so that means you have to get at least one person every month, with a few of them getting 2 that join, that are blessed with the business, that you help and walk with and guide towards becoming certified or above. This does not count. Tammy, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it does not count for reinstatements because they didn't enroll in that calendar year. Even if you were the person that enrolled them, it doesn't count.
Right. Reinstatements and roll-ups do not count.
Yeah, and roll-ups do not count as well. So if Susie Q joins under Jane Doe and Jane Doe falls off and she rolls up to you, too bad, so sad, it doesn't count. You're gonna have to get yourself another recruit. But definitely, if you do nothing else, bless more people with the business, because it's great things for you, it's amazing things for them, and who doesn't want to feel like $1 million walking the stage and getting an extra bonus and getting a trophy and all the things. So that's probably all I have for Annual Mentor. And if anybody has questions, I'm glad to answer them. And if you need me to talk about something else, Tammy, I'm glad to.
I'll just, no, you guys did a great job. I'll just add a few things. You can tell listening to this training that it's not rocket science. The things that we told you are nothing that are earth shattering or shaking, or you left here with, you know, a huge light bulb moment. If there's any light bulb moment, what I'd like you to walk away with is everybody that's on this call can achieve either one of those awards. But where does it start? It starts with a goal. You have to track it. Because if you don't know how far away or how close you are. And so SMART goals play a key part in this. You know, be specific in what you want. Make sure that it's measurable. Make sure that it's achievable. All of these things are relevant. Does it matter? Absolutely. These things are huge for your business. Even if you don't achieve them, working towards it help you improve your business. Time bound, you know, we know what it is. I mean, it started 1 May and goes to 30 May. So you have a time period that you're working towards. Now, what I will tell you when it comes to the time period, you always want to kind of front load a lot of those things. I always try to set my goal a few months early, because then you've got that extra few months to play with. But if you set that goal, that gives you that leeway. It's kind of the same thing that I've heard a few of you say. I don't shoot for 2,500, I shoot for 3,500, because if I fall short, I'm still within that window, or whatever. Instead of 2, we talk about 2 a month realistically, because not all of them are going to certify. Maybe look at 3, and in the first few months, you want to shoot for maybe more, in the early months. So it gives you more time to get them certified. Basically, what I would say is people with goals succeed. This is a quote: people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. If you start off and say in the middle of the year, yeah, I want to shoot for those, but you're not tracking it, you're not taking a look at it, you potentially are going to fall short and then realize how close you were to that goal if you would have started tracking it sooner. The things to get to both annual sales and annual mentor, again, are pretty similar. The more exposure to people, whether that's in parties or conversations, help you in both aspects. Because if you're getting more sales, you're having more conversations, which lead to potential more sponsoring or recruiting conversations. The more parties that you're having, have the greater opportunity to flip the parties. Sharing the join specials that are out there obviously help you also in the joining aspect. There's things that, Nicole mentioned, fundraisers. You go ahead and relaunch your relaunch your business. Start with your first party yourself. There's nothing that says that just because you joined X number of years ago that you can't have a relaunch and re-energize your business. Good customer care and follow-up always leads to more sales and potential consultants. I know Nicole and many of us have experiences just for that. Not going in thinking that we were going to sponsor somebody, but just by good follow-up and good care led to a consultant. And so all of these things are things that I know you know how to do, but I think it just needs to be in the forefront of your mind when you go into it. And there's a reason why this training is now. It's deliberate because it's right now. So you guys have a chance right now to make the commitment, to sit down tonight and write your SMART goals. What is that going to be? Break it down into smaller milestones, like to earn annual mentor and annual sales award, I will enter 4 party orders each month. And I'm just throwing some of these out here. This could be different for you guys. To earn annual mentor and sales award, I will enroll 2 new team members each month, like Nicole had talked about. I will train and coach all of my new team members, so at least half of them reach certified consultant in the first 3 months. That could be something different, but all of those are specific, measurable, and help you get to that goal at the end. Again, even though there's a small number that earn these awards each year, when you talk to the individuals that have actually earned them, they actually earn them when they started tracking them. There are so many people that do not track it. They just think it's going to happen. But once they set their mind on it and started looking into it, they've actually earned them. And so that's why I can say every single one of us on here can earn them if we set our mind to it.
And to that point, Tammy, not to interrupt you,
No.
but just like with follow-up system, everybody does something differently, whether it's pen and paper or some sort of notebook system or a recipe box and note cards or using Amy or whatever your system is. What works for me is not necessarily what works for Tammy. It's not necessarily what works for Cassie. And so if you're a pen and paper girl or guy, and you want to do something like this, and this doesn't work for you, create your own, or use, some things we've talked about. But something that comes to mind listening to you list all these things, Tammy, is I think sometimes we think we are doing more for ourselves and our business than maybe we actually are. I think sometimes we think we're so busy doing all the things, and we think we spend all this time making samples, but then we're not mailing them out. Or we're spending all this time coming up with a follow-up system, but then we're not actually following up. Or we're spending all this time creating graphics, but we're not actually posting them, or whatever it might be. And sometimes all it takes for any part of our business is to just have this, like accountability. When you don't have an accountability partner, this is it. Your tracker is it, because it's keeping you on track, because you can visually see holy cow, I really sucked last month. I have a lot of ground to make up. And then that's on you, boo. Like, you got to do that. And so it really is in our business, I think, kind of like a dead giveaway. Maybe we're not talking to as many people as we thought we were. Maybe we're not selling as much wax as we thought we were. Maybe we're not following up like a rock star like we thought we were. Maybe we're not doing all those things. And really the numbers, the proof's in the pudding. Because if you're recruiting one person in a year, you're not earning annual mentor. If you're selling $500 a month consistently, it's great to be consistent, but realistically, you're not going to earn that award. So hold yourself accountable. Find something that works for you that's going to push you and force you, whether it's looking at your workstation every single day at what they've created for you already, or get yourself some sort of pen and paper system or whatever to do it. Because like Tammy said, there's a reason why this is right now. Like, it just started for all of us. Every single one of us have the same opportunity. What's today, the 3rd? 3 days into May, we all have the exact same 362 days to make it happen. And I know that you can, because I'm like Susie Nobody, and I did it, and Cassie's done it, and Debbie's done it. And raise your hands if you've done it. Jody's done it 6 times, 8 times. How many was it?
She said
7
8 times.
A whole bunch.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. And
Yeah.
you guys all can too. And I really hope we get to celebrate that come this time next year, that we have a whole bunch of rock stars earning this award.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nicole. The visual representation is huge. I mean, the workstation has it for us, but I think there's nothing more motivating than seeing it visually. Even for our incentive, even though we have an incentive tracker, I literally post it up, and there's something about me coloring in areas that allows me to say, okay, I'm moving in the right direction. And it may not, in addition to just the tracker, it may be something as little statements that are posted in different areas of your office or places that you go that say, I will earn annual sales, or, you know, positive reinforcement. Because sometimes we get down on ourselves when we do have that month that we're not on track. That doesn't mean we give up. I know none of you guys, and I'm scrolling through here, are quitters. I know that. I mean, you just try harder. And again, there is nothing wrong with this if you do not achieve it, because I can guarantee you, you are so much further in your business than when you started. So,
yep.
What questions do you guys have? Yes, Jody says also, when you're working towards the annual sales and the annual mentor, it gives you the great opportunity to earn the incentive trips were based on sales and growing your team. Absolutely. And again, Scentsy puts different things out there. There's a reason why they continue to have annual sales and annual mentor awards, because they know it's what helps grow our business. It's the bread and butter to our business. If it wasn't important, it wouldn't be something that they emphasize each year, year after year.
Yeah. 2 things come to mind looking at things in the chat. The first thing is, Renee says, reminds you of the quote, a goal without a plan is just a wish. And if you're on my team or you're friends with me, you've heard me say a million times, you can wish for it all day long. But if you're not willing to work for it, you're not going to be any further. And so you can't just like say, I want to do this. You have to actually put in the effort. So for those interested in how many 6-packs it might be to sell each month for $2,500, it's going to be 83.33 6-packs. So 84 6-packs, if you want to break it down like that. Make yourself some sort of graphic and start marking it off. Do whatever you want to do, but I just quick did the math. The next thing that I saw was I saw Lisa say, you never fail as long as you try. And this is what you're saying, Tammy, is a perfect example of failing forward.
Yeah.
If you don't earn it, it's okay. If you are trying to earn it and putting in that extra work, you've won something. You've won additional customers. You've won higher paychecks. You've won, you know, more people blessed with the business. There are things you've won at, even if you didn't necessarily reach the end goal this time. There's always, you know, the next time if you fall short, but you're failing forward.
So raise of hand, who's going to try for these awards and work their way towards it? Okay, I got to scroll here and look. Okay, Renee? Renee, why?
You can do it. And we're all here to help each other. Reach out to
I
anyone.
am just starting out and I don't need the pressure, and I know enough to know me. This is not what I'm going for. I'm going to SFR. I'm very excited about it. I'm doing my little bits as I feel it.
Sorry, I had a cough and spell. Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's fair. There's fair. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. You know, sometimes the strength is in recognizing what you're not capable of yet. But I mean, you're new, right? You just said you're newer. So come this time next year, maybe you'll have a whole different plan or a mind shift, switch, something changes. I mean, the sky's the limit. But for those of you, I'm gonna challenge you guys really quick. For those of you who are in it to win it for annual sales, and it's okay if you are not, you guys, please know it's okay if you are not. Just like Renee said, no thank you right now. That's okay. But if you are in it to win it, I want you to write down on a piece of paper right now, I will earn annual sales this year, and put it somewhere you can see it. If you have stuff with you right now, write it right now. Hang it where you're going to see it every day. Because when you write it down, it's in the universe and you're going to do it. I'm going to shut up now, Tammy.
No, you don't need to shut up. I think it was great. Does anybody have any questions before we go towards drawing a prize winner for those who showed up tonight? Feel free, anything. It does not have to be even in regards to our topics tonight. I'll give just a couple seconds while I'm finishing writing my I will earn annual sales and annual mentor. Okay, so we have 20 people on the call tonight. I'll be doing the drawing tonight, and if you're all right with it, I'll kind of tell you what probably is going to go in the box this time. I actually spent last week in Disney Epcot, and so we have some things, just a couple things. There'll be some other things on there in the box that goes with it, but why not share some bath salts that are actually the iridescent smell that is going to actually be with the castle. So we'll put some of this in there.
It's so good, you guys.
We'll put some of our lavender seeds from the actual Blossoms of Fragrance at Disney.
Awesome.
Got some other Disney treats. So I won't tell you all, but that'll be the box that will go out this week. So you guys ready? Let me make sure that there's nobody else that joined. No.
So Tammy, they're selling things at Disney that have our Scentsy fragrances in them?
No. So iridescent is Disney's scent. It's the first time that we're allowed to use it when the castle comes out.
Okay, that's what the brick is going to be.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And these are what they're giving out at the Scentsy display. So it is lavender seeds, and the nice thing here is you pull it up and it's a scratch and sniff of French lavender.
Oh, how cool.
Very
for
cool.
people that
So
haven't
awesome.
used
So I'll
it.
put some of those in there too.
Awesome.
And then some other Disney surprises and other things. So you guys ready? Let's see. And I have to look. Does anybody remember what the training is next week?
I don't have your mega list.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me
back.
either.
Jen Derrick.
Oh, how appropriate that she wins the Disney related box.
Oh,
You're
and
going
we're
to
going to
Disney soon,
Disney on
aren't you?
Friday.
So hang on.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gratz.
Let me pull up and see what our schedule is for the upcoming events. Please make sure you're sharing it with your team members so they have an opportunity to join in on these calls also. Let me take a look.
Tammy, if it's still the same one from February that was sent out, it looks like next week is how to utilize social media to sell.
No,
Just
next-
kidding. How to
Yep.
utilize the Bring Back My Bar sampler to increase your sales.
Yeah, that is what it is.
I was a week ahead.
Yep. Followed by the next week will be mass emails and ways to contact members. So again, guys, these trainings are actually for you. So if there's things that you would like to hear or learn more about, please let us know, because if it's something that's relevant, I mean, we need to change that schedule around. We're more than happy to do that. So these training topics were based upon your input, but again, at any time we're flexible and kind of can change those up as need be. But if there's no other questions, thank you guys for joining us. And we'll see you next week. Have a great week.
There
Bye,
will
guys.
be Cubicle Friday morning. I'll open it up at 10 a.m. So if anyone wants to join for that.
Great. Join Cassie at Cubicle. See you
Yeah.
guys.
Hi, guys.